Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Galactic Civilizations Newbie tutorial series. Let's play. This is episode 8. I'm your host, Colors Fade. And we just had a lot of interesting things happen in the last episode. I was really happy to be able to show you destroying the Drengi, doing planetary invasions, and the Snathi surrendered their homeworld to us because the Kryn were trying to destroy them. But the nice thing is we took the one really hostile faction that was after us off the map. And so when something like that happens, the next thing I really like to do is take a look at diplomacy and see who's likely to become the next hostile faction. The Altarians are warm, but they have moved out of the inner circle to the outer circle, so that's a concern because they're to the right. And then of course there's the Kryn. They're cordial with us, but they are the farthest to the right, and they're probably the most likely to want to go to war with us next. Everybody else is more or less happy. So we grabbed Drengi and Kona and this other planet down here, Throthgard, from them. And Throthgard is right on the border, and it's a little bit of a potential problem here with the Iconians. You can see their sphere of influence is really strong. And if we go into diplomacy and we look at the Iconians, you can click on report and it'll show you that right now they're using the media assimilation government to try and strengthen their borders. And so we have a couple of options for dealing with that. One of them would be to go to the bazaar and spend a little money, which it'll take us a couple turns to get the money. But there are a bunch of ships here that do things like this. 100% influence per turn, doubles this ship down here 150 points to the base influence of any colony while the ship is stranded. These two ships alone could really help push back. The other thing is this is mining some Promethean, which I'd really like to buy from them, so the Throthgard starbase will want to buy from them. And these starbases also produce a certain amount of influence themselves. So there are those things to consider. But right now, we want to push out some constructor ships out of the Drengen shipyard. There are things we want to go capture. In particular, there's a really nice manufacturing relic far up north. We have an election. We're going to win pretty handily. 77%, we're down 5% from last time, but our morale just went way up because we unlocked a new technology. So here we go. A research vessel approaches and after much experimentation with explosives and electrical shocks discovers the beast is drawn to neutrino emitters. Although it's hardly captured, you can now place breadcrumbs to lead it around. So build a neutrino harness to control the creature is a 94% science check, or enslave the creature through pure strength of arms is a 95% military strength. So we're going to do that and try to get this creature, and it turns into a really powerful ship if you can do it. Otherwise it heads straight for one of your best planets and blows them up. We want to get these two antimatters up there if we can too. So we just finished Easy to Please. This is the last of the really great, easy, accessible morale tech, and you can see that it boosted us up to 89% with our current tax rate. I can go into my civilization and back the taxes off a little bit to about 50%, and we're going to be over 90%. And once we fix things on Drengi and a couple other planets, that'll go back up to 100, and we can re-crank out the taxes. But we want to go to research. And I'm going to want galactic governance because I want this galactic empire government for doing more. It gives us 24 planet colony limit, has a bunch of great bonuses for conquest victory. But in the meantime, I really need the fusion power plant. We've been saving spots for it on planets or putting factories up and things like that. We just want to get it. In the meantime, we'll also go over here. Oh, we're going to try to get to 15% though. For this Snathi survey ship. We didn't get it, so we're going to flip back to advanced construction and end our turn. So this is the point in the game where once you defeat the first faction that decided to go to war with you, then you have some some choices about what you want to do next. You can really start kind of honing in on how you want to win the game. Crisis: Space Monster success. Your fleets throw everything they have at the creatures. Space becomes a technicolor nightmare full of explosions, lasers, and shrapnel. Though the creature resists the bombardment, it eventually succumbs, floating exhausted and injured in space. When you threaten to launch another volley, the creature reacts, prodding along by your fleet. Free Space Monster. It's a really nice, powerful ship, basically. Oh, and there's just a bunch of precursor anomalies up here, so I'm going to keep tagging them with rally points so that we can send our survey fleet up there to get them and get their nice little bonuses. The Snathy survey ship. Gonna go in there. Have an idle colony. So Drengi, we built the city on. That improved our morale from 2% to 43. We're still taking a hit, and the way to fix that is to take that little tiny market center off there and instead put the intimidation center there and level it up by +2 with the help of the city and the capital. So we'll do that, and that'll help significantly. This constructor I wanted to send northward as fast as possible because what I wanted to get was this manufacturing relic up here along with this antimatter, so we're going to send it to there. And then, because I don't think we have any more capsules near survey ships, we're going to go back there. Here's the Earth shipyard. So we go back to Earth, you can see the Space Monster, which is really cool. And he has 32 for beams, 15 shields, 8 chaff, 6 armor, and 4 kinetic weapons. He's a capital, huge hull. He's just awesome. Queen Space Monster. So we have this fleet here that we can eject. And what I want to do, I think, is pick just a bunch of these ships and fleet them up with the Space Monster. And I have room for 2 more ships, so let's grab that one and that one. And that's as many as I can fit. 66 out of 70 logistics. So I'm going to go back into here, and I'm going to just make a bunch more ships. And this fleet is now ready to go. And the question is, who do we think we're going to have to go after next? And I think the safe bet is the Kryn. So we're going to fly off in this direction. We're going to think ahead and plan ahead and say, I think the Kryn are going to be a problem. And if we go check our victory conditions, we can see that we're now 25% conquest victory. Our current standing is number 1 of number 8. Oh no, we're looking at Ascension right now. If we go to Conquest, we're number 2 of 8. The Iridium Corporation is considered first place. We're leading in the Ascension victory, but we don't have control of the majority of crystals. And when it comes to a tech victory, we're current standing is number 1. And influence victory, we're at number 1 as well. So we're in really good shape at turn 158. Really good shape for winning this game in a number of different ways. And that is why you can see winning the game on normal AI difficulty is not terribly difficult to do. Alright, so the Drengi are now much happier. They're at 87% approval. That's about as good as we can do without tearing down something else and making another improvement thing. And so I'm going to do some soil upgrades here. We're going to terraform some of the planet. We're going to have a nice manufacturing wheel over here, and then we can add some spots over here as well. And I would like to actually get tourism up. So I think what I'll do is I'll put one over here by the capital and another one down here, and let those guys build that stuff. And then this is going to be great. I think I can get both of these antimatters and both of these ascension crystals with one constructor, which would be great for us. And if we go check out this, yeah, we left it on Galactic Governments, which is 11 turns away, so we might as well see if we can get the bonuses here. Yeah, we got a little bonus there. I'm just going to finish Galactic Governments and get it. Might as well go get it. Go get it and be done with it, and then we can worry about the fusion power plant. Same thing here. We got the Snathy. Says, hey, oh, experience points. Don't care about those. Galactic Governance is still 7 turns away, so let's switch back to advanced construction. Here is Throthgard. We talked about this last episode, how it was kind of poorly set up, but we have a port of call on it now, and it's already earning some good tourism income. And what I wanted to do was take the Intimidation Center off, because it was in a bad spot where it wasn't leveled up and really used very well, and we're going to move it over there. And that'll take a long time for it to build. And now Throthgard is in the sphere of the Iconians because of their media assimilation. So what we really need to do is grab something from the bazaar, like this guy, 100 influence per turn. We need him. We're going to hire him. But when you hire a ship, a mercenary ship, it shows up exactly at the planet that is your capital homeworld. So we want to go here to government planet, and we're going to say set as capital. We're only going to do that temporarily. We're going to go into the bazaar. We're going to buy this ship, hire the mercenary. We're going to put him on that planet, and then we're going to go back to Earth, and we're going to make this our capital again, set as capital. There we go. So we'll see if that one ship is enough to help our influence at the end of the turn. We got another starbase out. That is being mined. These two, if we want Ascension to be a potential victory for us, we need to grab all these ones that aren't being mined, because that is part of the requirement for Ascension victories. You must control the majority of Ascension crystals. Our little survey fleet just improved our overall logistics by 5. Now we're going to command them to go to the nearest P, and all of them are way north. So just go. Get to the next precursor relic. It's going to take them a lot of turns to get there. Here we go. We're going to be able to get all 4 of those things with 1. So here's our Xenoarchaeology Lab, our mining ring. Mining barracks. You can see we made 1,000 credits in a turn because of some stuff. So we did really good with some survey ships and things like that. This last constructor that we spit out, I'm going to look and see if there's anything not being mined up north here that should be mined. I don't really see anything, because if we can get that manufacturing relic and that antimatter there, that would be great. Otherwise, I think we're mostly done. And so what I want to do with this last manufacturing relic, with this last constructor, is I want to just put it down here around Drengi and Kona and use it to create an economic starbase. Right there. And here's Drengi. We've got a space for a port of call now. And on the other side of this starport, we can put this military academy, which gives a nice bonus. And this will allow us to build legions on Drengi if we have enough Durantium to build with. That's the thing. It takes 5 Durantium to build a legion. Throthgard, we're going to pay attention and see what it looks like after that turn is over. But it's not looking like that ship is going to be enough to ward off the Iconians' media assimilation. And I kind of wouldn't expect it to. Media assimilation is a really powerful government. The one drawback is that it does not have access to the galactic market. The Drengia shipyard is done, and I can start making fleets. So I'm going to set the rally point to the Drengia shipyard. Start creating my second group of fleets. Galactic Governance, 3 turns away. Oh, and slow down. Ships everywhere in the galaxy will experience slightly reduced top speeds. A scientist back on our homeworld has discovered a way to greatly increase the efficacy of hyperdrive systems of all kinds. Unfortunately, he seems bent on sharing this knowledge with all his peers, regardless of their race of origin. I always choose the malevolent option here. Plus 50 to the base move, plus 50% to the base moves of our ships instead of everyone's. I don't want everyone else to be able to move. We got a new citizen. And Throthgard is still dealing with, unfortunately, the Iconians and cringing, so that's not a good situation for us. We may need to promote some more administrators and come down here and put a starbase down here that's going to do just influence to help keep our planet from getting overwhelmed, because even though we're spitting out 688.9 influence, we're getting crushed by the Iconians, and I don't want to lose that planet. So I think what I'm gonna do is, we know we need Epimetheus pollen, and now the Kryn are hostile. We knew that was coming. We're gonna look and see if anybody has Epimetheus pollen. First of all, we're gonna do free trade agreement with him, and he'll give us drive system costs. I'm just going to trade that for him for cash right now. I'm not concerned with what the Yor have going on. Open borders and a free trade agreement with these guys would give me a bunch of really cool things like armor spice. These are used for scientific epiphanies. So I'm going to grab 6 of them. He doesn't have any durantium. He's got a ton of antimatter. How much more antimatter can I get from him? 20, that's fine. These guys, there's nothing I want to do with them right now, and they don't, amazingly, out of everything they have, they don't have any Epimetheus pollen. She doesn't have them either. So who has them? He doesn't have them. They have xanthium deposits, but they don't have any Epimetheus pollen. And he doesn't either. Wow, so nobody has them. So the only way for us to really get him is to go up here through the market, and if we look, it's 1,000 to buy the Epimetheus pollen, which would allow us to get some more administrators. So I can spend 1,000 on that and crank out. We have to. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna go up to my citizens. I'm going to take this one and promote her to a minister, and then I get a new citizen, which I can turn into whatever I want to, and I think I either want a scientist, engineer, or a commander. I think I want a scientist. I'm going to train a scientist. I'm going to sort my planets by research and see which one is producing the most. It says Snathi Prime is producing 63 research and Earth's producing 60. So I can put... Oh yeah, because they have a bunch of scientists on it already. So I'm going to put my scientist on there. It's going to take a while for her to travel over there, but that's okay. This is a good planet for research. And it's a little bit foreboding there. The Kryn have, you saw that next to Snathi. I didn't like that. I'm going to go back and look at that. The Kryn have this fleet here with 4 legions on it, and the Slyn have 2 legion fleets right next to everybody's primed to take Snathi away from us. So I don't really like that. I'm going to look at my fleets, sort them by power. Here's our space monster fleet. And I'm thinking I need to get those guys over to Snathi. Yeah. I'm gonna have to deal with that at some point in time. Alright. here we are, still trying to get Galactic Governance finished with 15% bonuses, and that was nice. We got a couple of those. Almost done. We'll be able to switch governments soon. Altarian Resistance gave us a little bit of cash because we're still friendly with them. Snathy are going to finish off. Oh no, they're not. They're so close though. Our Snathy survey ship. Oh, there's one up there. Capsule. Mars is done doing everything it's going to build, except for we need a mega factory, so I'm going to have them do another research thing. Drengi is done. It has built everything it can build, except for this space elevator, which adds to construction, versus this, which adds to all construction. These add to construction and morale, so I'm not going to destroy anything for the space elevator. But you can see now, training legions, I can train a legion in 5 turns, but it costs 5 Durantium. So instead, I'm just going to have Snathy Prime crank out a whole bunch of research. And this guy is going to capture both these Ascension Crystals. And then I'm going to go back up to Drenja, and I'm going to say, give me a couple of constructors, because we need very badly to create some influence around this one planet and save it. The Kryn Syndicate has declared war on the Slin, so they didn't declare war on us. They went for the Slin. The Archeans have a whole bunch of legions right around Drenja. That makes me nervous. I don't like that. We can switch governments, though. So right now we have an interstellar republic, which is nice for gross income and research and trade route diplomacy. We can't declare war, which I don't care about. But the Galactic Empire, when we want to declare war, is going to be great. It's plus 20% soldiering, ship construction, plus 2 moves, plus 30% ship range, and we get 24 colony limit, and there are no elections. So I'm not going to switch it over yet, because I want to keep the trade route diplomacy going with the Kryn, and I want the bonus to economy and research for right now. And we only have 9 planets, but when we go over 9 planets, we're going to switch. I'm going to go finish advanced construction so we can make some fusion power plants. He found a thulium. That's not particularly awesome. And the Snathy one is going to go in here and... oh, he advanced construction a little bit. That's nice. You can see our morale is bumped up to 96 because we fixed most of Drengia. So the Kryn are going to war with the Slin. Oh, there we go. I don't have research, so I shouldn't grab any of those. Advanced construction is done. We have access to the fusion power plant. That's fantastic. It's about this point in the game that I also start considering going down the Xeno adaptation line. This is the tree branch. These 2 right here, where you get all the bonuses for food, and more food means cities, and you can start putting cities on every single planet, which is great. But what I'd really like to get is some hull strengthening, so the next wave of ships that I build will have some ability to heal themselves, and large scale construction, which I'd like to burn an epiphany on, so that we can get it. And same thing, warp field theory is not too far away either. So let's get some hull strengthening going first. And then this little deal is going to come down here. We have to save Throthgard. Alright, that guy. Just found a piece over here. Here we go. This is what I wanted. This is going to grab this manufacturing relic and this antimatter, so I can take that rally point down. I can tell him do this. So that's handled. He's going to go grab that. I probably should have said, oh look, there's a whole slew of capsules, and we're going to want to use them on like large scale construction. That's going to be great. I also spit out this other one. I think what I'm going to do is put 2 of these down here. one to the right and one to the left, and try to stay in my own borders. And with two of them creating influence, we should be able to save Throthgard here from the influence of the Iconians. I don't really like wasting star bases on influence, but it's really important not to lose that planet. So Throthgard is inside the sphere of this starbase. So let's construct it, and this is the first culture base we're going to create. And you can add modules to it as you've researched them, so we can add a lot here. Information hub. So this is going to generate some nice influence. And same thing here. Culture ring. And things like perimeter scanners, you see it adds +5 to influence growth. Casa Durantium. And the Starbase Defense System also adds to influence growth. So I'm going to do some of that on these, because I want to create as much influence as possible. Try to save this little planet here. Alright. We want to try and get large scale construction. It's going to take 32 turns, but it'll take a lot less if we can get the 15% bonus right there. So that's one of them. I'm going to go back to hull strengthening, finish the turn. And we finished hull strengthening, which is great. And on the other side of carriers, you get really nice hull repair systems, but carriers takes a while to research. So I'm going to go back to large scale construction because I want this little ship to try and push it. Okay. So Kanahui 2 is completely done. We put everything on it that we can put on it. And we have one planetary soil upgrade and a terraforming planet. So this is ideal time up here to build some space for the fusion power plant. And we have the fusion power plant. So here's Drengia. I need to go switch the rally point back to the shipyard for that. And then I need to go to Earth. And I need to look, this thing's being upgraded, but we don't want to worry about that. Don't upgrade the Mega Factory. I'm going to go in here, delete all those things out. I'm going to delete the Mega Factory. I'm going to put the fusion power plant on there. And in fact, let's see. Fusion power plant +3 to all construction, so it's just going to, right up there, it's going to do a nice job of adding to the production on that planet so we can crank out ships even faster. This little survey says, I'm looking for things for him to survey and I don't see any. So we might as well just send him down to the nearest wormhole. Oh yeah, this snappy ship is getting lucky. It's in this gas cloud and it's getting the 15%ers. I always feel like once you get large scale construction, the game really starts to tip in your favor, as long as the other factions don't get in before you, and they usually don't, especially on normal difficulty. The Kryn are going to war with the Yor. And that's why I typically play the game on gifted AI. Playing against gifted AIs, they tend to, it's a nice challenge, I guess, is the easiest way for me to say it. I like the challenge it presents. I've played it against Genius AI, and that is a lot of challenge. And anything past that is basically almost impossible to win as far as with a conquest victory. They just produce so much more manufacturing and research faster than you, and buy everything with loads of money, and you really have no chance. And then if you get a hostile faction like the Stanthy or Drengen close by, they just come and destroy you. We have an election coming up that we're going to win. The Iconians are friendly. The Yor Singularity have declared war on the Brainiac Collective. So the Brainiacs who are in our neck of the woods. And Seoul Shipyard is almost ready to kick out a fleet, but we have room for one more ship. So we're going to do that. And then we'll send that fleet off in the direction of the Kryn. The gods have not seen fit to give us the secret of storage maximization technology, Mr. Bradley. The Kryn Syndicate would appreciate you sharing this technology with us. No, you don't get any of my miniaturization tech, ever. We have a new citizen, and in anticipation of going to war with the Kryn, I'm going to create another general so I can have some access to legions. Some more legions. We're going to need them. So here is the Kona planet, and we've got it perfectly set up for a fusion power plant. And then, oh, we'll be able to put a manufacturing capital somewhere. That's awesome. We also have the starport and the space elevator. So this is a nice chunk of manufacturing real area. The fusion power plant's going to take the longest, so we'll move it down the list of priority. But that is going to be a really, really nice little thing there. Okay, so this is our fleet of Space Monster. And we're going to kind of go up here. Oh my goodness. They have some nice looking planets here. Class 15. Oh, Class 12. We're going to have to go after the Kryn, and the only way to do it is probably going to be to create some transports off of Snathy Prime. So Snathy Prime is going to need its own shipyard here. I'm going to get that ready now. Oh, it's sponsoring someone else. That's right. It's sponsoring Drengia. I don't like having shipyards that don't have more than one sponsor, but in the case of Snathy, where they gave that planet to us, we certainly don't want to lose it and give it up, and it's out here by itself. It's strategically positioned in a good spot for us to go to war with the Kryn. So next turn it'll produce a shipyard, and we'll use it to create some transports. The Sol shipyard has spit out the last thing it needs to do. And large scale construction is 12 turns away. Okay, then I'll create a whole new set of fleet of these ships, and I will send this fleet up in this direction. Get up here and get close to the Kryn. She wants an exploration treaty. Give me fortification, give me a research treaty. She wants a whole bunch of my money, a bunch of other stuff, and it's just like, no, it's not happening. Wormhole. And he showed up over here in Kryn space. Oh, that was nice. I'm just waiting for large scale construction now so we can go to war with the Kryn with large ships. The United Planets, you can see that, like for instance, the Yor have elected to leave the United Planets, and the Slyn have elected to leave the United Planets. They don't want to be beholden to the United Planets at all. Believes that a thriving interstellar peace is good for all members, promoting goodwill and economic growth. To this end, it is endorsing the expansion of trade licenses, granting each race an additional 2 trade routes each. Yes, we'll take that. That's an easy one. Arcs are going to give us a gift. We're coming back over here. Throthgard is now back on our side of the line. So our 2 little star bases here have done their job. And now we can go back up to Ziller and look at this. We're going to put the fusion power plant right there. The Galactic Council is a gigantic influence piece, and it increases the influence of a particular planet. I don't really want to use it right there. Import-Export Center. substantially adds to tourism, but I would like to place it right next to a port of call so that it synergizes well with it. So I gotta save those two things. The diplomatic corps lets you make diplomats. I don't really care about that, so I'm gonna put the military academy there after the fusion power plant. The Snatho shipyard is out and it's idle, and what we want to do is build 2 transports. And those won't take long. Snathy's going to be ready to go. We're going to be ready to go to war with the Kryn very quickly. That's our survey fleet. I need to go back to Drengia. And even though all these ships are hovering around here, they're the Arcs. They're making me nervous. I really need to tell the Archeans to just go to war with someone else. And in fact, that's actually not a bad idea, is to bribe the Archeans to go to war with someone so that they'll move their ships off. This fleet that I just kicked out that has 5 legions has a commander, and so it has room for some extra ships. So I'm going to grab 2 of these ships, and it has room still it has room for 1 more ship. So there we go. So now it's a full fleet. It's using its maximum logistics, and I'm going to use that fleet to come down here and get ready to go to war with the Yor. And then I'm going to take a good look at diplomacy and see the Arcs are not at war with anybody else, and they are allied with the Slyn. And I would really like the Archeans to go to war with someone. And I'd like them to go to war with someone that I'm kind of not on friendly terms with, but we're actually on friendly terms with everybody except the Kryn. So I'm going to bribe them. Oh, they can't declare war because of their current government. Well, poo. That's too bad. Okay. Can anybody? Neither can the Iconians because they're using media assimilation. But we can give them a free trade agreement for habitat improvement. And maybe some Promethean. Yep, we can get 10 Promethean out of them and some credits. These guys don't have anything that I really want. But they can declare war on someone. I could declare war on the Archeans. Yes. I'll give you a free trade agreement if you guys do that. And can you give me some Heliosaur? Yeah. I'll give you some credits. Alright, the Yor are going to go to war with the Archeans. So that should get the Archeans to get these ships out of here. They're going to go send them at the Yor. See, if you don't want to directly go to war, at least you can use money and research and trades to create and sow chaos across the universe. Kanahui 2. I've saved a spot for a city, but they don't have the technology available yet to make it work. So I'm going to build a habitat improvement up here. I'll take the starport and move it up here, and then we'll put the fusion power plant in the center. And there's some soil engineering that can go on down here. Here's what I'm going to do. Kanahui 2. I'm going to put that right there because that is where I can put... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the soil engineering right there. It's going to take 5 turns. When it's done, I'm going to put the import-export center on that, and that is going to level up my port of call and my missionary center quite nicely. And that's going to be the end of the turn. So this episode's ran pretty long, and I'm just going to end it right here. And I think next episode we're probably going to be at war with the Kryn. We're 174 turns into this. We are in first place in most things, and you can see now the huge jump we've made in military rank, research, and production rank. We're number 1, 1, and 2 in all of those. We have 9 colonies, 36 citizens, and on the balance of power, we're way out front. The Kryn are right behind us. So things are looking up and looking well for us. So I think I'll save the game at this point in time. I really hope you newbies have got a lot out of this video series, and I hope everything you learn in here is helping you make your way toward victory in your own games. And I appreciate you very much watching this series, and I will see you next time on episode